seems to me you might wonder why we even hold these services and why we do all the other videos and teachings. And the obvious answer is to teach our brothers and sisters, and about the commandments, and to provide a Sabbath afternoon prayer service, which, to my knowledge, and I could very well be wrong, no one else is doing. That's true. We think it's needed, and we love spending this time with you. But there are a few other reasons that you may not know of, and I thought you should be. We are a Sabbath Keepers Fellowship, and for over 2 decades, it's been Sabbath Keepers Fellowship and Prison Ministry. We serve, and have, for most of the time we've been in existence, simply served prisoners. That's what we do. We have 5,000 members inside prisons, hundreds of chaplains, and over 400 prisons we serve in the United States. I'm guessing you've probably all heard all this before, but it bears restating. It's a pretty large number. And those people they've been the ones we've chosen to take care of as our main focus for decades in service. And Yahweh has blessed us greatly and enabled to do that. We're personally, physically poor, spiritually richer than any imagination, and we have what we need for ourselves. We live on veterans benefits and Social Security we earned for working for years, and it meets our needs. And everything we do through the ministry goes into the ministry work in some way or another. And we're glad to be able to do that. We take care of these prisoners, and we're the largest in the nation. And we do a lot more than just provide Bibles or a newsletter. We provide all kinds of things for them that nobody else is providing. And as an aside, someday, we're getting older, as I've said before, someday we're not going to be able to do this anymore. We're already cramped for space, and we've grown so much that we walk over the top of each other in this little office we try to call a home, or home we try to call an office. I'm not sure. And no one stepped forward. We've seen no young people that'll take it over, that'll come replace us. And we need help besides. It's getting to the point where we just can't do it all ourselves. Anyway, so that's been our main focus. But in the last few years, we've began doing other things like this service, producing some music, the Facebook and other things that we do online. Hosting events here at our home, which include an amazing mixture of prison guards and former prisoners, prison volunteers, state prison officials, and law enforcement officers, and people who are none of those things, that have just heard about us and wanted to come. Events and work and all kinds of things. So we've branched out, and we've started doing this content as well. And as I said, it's for all of you. We want you to know more of the commandments. And we learn every week when we go back and pore over and research the commandments again to make sure that we do it right for you. We learn more. That's a wonderful thing. So we've branched out beyond, but these services and the music and the other things we do, well, we want you to enjoy them and learn from them, and we want to fellowship with you. We want you to join us. These things are also intended to go to prisoners. The prison systems in this country, for the most part, are trying to go paperless. I expected that for many years, and they're just now really getting into it. They've sold or issued to most of their prison populations small tablet computer. It doesn't get internet for the most part, or not much. It's strictly and completely controlled by the prison systems. they have officers and employees who manage the content that goes in, and what they're allowed to see, and it's very little. In fact, it's all controlled by a single private company, and they do some educational stuff, email, which costs money for the inmates or anybody who wishes to mail them. They provide music and religious content. And all of that content has to be approved by that company and by state prison authorities before it's allowed onto a prisoner's tablet. They're trying to do away with paper because they found that prisoners who spend years or decades in prison tend to accumulate a lot of paper. They don't want that. It's hard for them to inspect. Things can be hidden in it. They call it a fire hazard. There's not much fire in prisons. And because a mailroom staff in a prison takes several people that have to pour through and read all the letters and incoming mail that go to a prison. That's a lot of people to pay. It takes a lot of time and resources that they could use for other things. They finally figured out, and with the help of this company, that they can reduce all that. So paper is going away. Now, I expect that for a long time, maybe years still, they'll be allowed some few books, maybe 1, 2, or 3, and including a religious text. But most of the other stuff they're trying to get rid of. All of this content, these services, the music we do, the other teachings we're planning to do, they're not only for your enjoyment or benefit. We're putting them together into a huge package to send into the prisons, because our people don't have access to much or anything, really. The other major faiths do, and that's not right. Nobody we know is doing this, at least not on any scale. And we tend to make that happen for our brothers and sisters in prison. And by my best guess or estimate, there are about 100,000 Sabbath-keeping prisoners, give or take. And that's according to the statistics and things we've learned over many years of watching such things. About 100,000 Sabbath-keeping prisoners, men and women who are your brothers and sisters in some form or another, who are in these prisons. And some of them have organized communities, weekly services. They're accountable to one another according to Torah law, by and large. They're there and they're not being taken care of. So, this content's for them as much as it is for you. That's another reason we want you to participate. And we want the content that goes in, and it must be positive, constructive, not negative stuff. It has to be material that is suitable for everyone. I did many years in prison myself, if you don't already know. I'm an ex-convict. I spent all of my time inside, all of it. There are people who will attest to that, some of whom were there with me, others who received what I was doing and saw. I spent all of my time with matters pertaining to our faith, forming and leading communities, writing papers and articles, many of which y'all have probably read and didn't know that. Learning and daily, hourly, and trying to walk according to Torah and after the footsteps of Yehoshua. And there are a lot of people inside doing that. And most of those guys and gals have this ideal about you and about the people of our faith outside of prison. They imagine this wonderful, utopian, Torah-observant, inclusive bunch of congregations who are all united, at least mostly, in loving one another and humbling themselves for each other and working together, that they're going to someday maybe be able to come out and join, or at least who might see fit to write them a letter once in a while, or count them as one of a legitimate member of the body of Messiah. They've repented and turned their whole lives over to the Most High, and they do it well, most of them. Not all. There's no such thing as all in our faith, and I'm sure you all know that. And so they have this utopian idea of what we are out here. And it's unrealistic, but they don't know that. Sometimes they get information sent to them that, or see news somewhere that lets them know that things aren't all fine and well among the body of Messiah. They don't like to hear it. At least most of them don't. Some of them do, I guess. But we need to help them. We need them to see that we're out here for them. We need to provide them with positive things. We need to take care of our brothers and sisters inside, because they're just not allowed to. They can't take care of themselves completely. And what they can do, believe me, they do. So we want them to see that, and we want them to get some support. Now, I had never planned to do this, but I'm going to do it right now. I'm going to ask y'all for support in this effort. And you already are supporting us. I'm not asking for money. Although it does take money to run prison ministry, and we don't have it. But doing these videos and making the music and all this YouTube stuff, I'm learning that it takes likes and regular attendance to make it proliferate, to help others become involved in it, so that those guys and gals in prison see, like on our panel, they see us together in some numbers, working together, learning together, loving one another, as Messiah commanded. So, like I've heard on some of these other YouTube broadcasts, I guess I'm saying, what do you say? Hit the like button or whatever it is. I don't know that much about it, and I want to thank you for attending and for doing that. Whatever else you do to help our brothers and sisters inside, because that's our life and what we do, and we love them, we care for them, we cry for them, we hurt for them, and we try to provide for them as best we can.